Haha! My voice wasn't even being captured on that. My bad. Oh, hey, what's up? This is so loud for me. Stop. Okay, there. Excellent. What's up? How are you? So... What? Cool. I have to go to the stream on my phone. Oh, shoot. I'm good. I woke up not that long ago. I have to stop with the music so I can do settings. Because I forgot. My bad. Go away, YouTube notifications. Okay, I know about this. You told me these things. I know. Stop. I'm trying to do things. Stop it. Quit it. Go away. Stop. But yeah, I'm good. I fell asleep earlier when I didn't mean to. And also, I didn't debut the story plan like I planned. Sorry, I'm trying to do things at the same time as figuring out what am I doing? Where am I supposed to go again? Here, maybe? No, that's not right. Where am I going? Ah! What? Ugh, where? Ah! I don't know where I am! I've forgotten how everything works. They have all these, like, new settings and stuff. But yeah, I fell asleep earlier because I was hanging out with my cats. And Whiskers, who is sitting over there, you probably can't see him, really. You could try and move it, but I don't think you can see him. He's over there. Whiskers! Hey. That's my cat, Whiskers. He's chilling out on the bed. I don't know if you can really see him. I'm looking back on the stream. You can kind of see him. He's there. Yeah. So, Whiskers was chilling out with me alongside Moo. They were both hanging out with me, and Whiskers decided to, like, climb underneath the blanket with me. So I was, like, super warm and comfortable. Like, he is incredibly soft. So I was, like, ridiculously comfortable. This is not the Sims experiment. Let's go away. Boop. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Alright. So, but yeah, so I got really comfortable and I ended up falling asleep when I was supposed to be awake and doing things. So the stream ended up being delayed, but that's fine. Another thing that ended up happening was that yesterday so I said that I'd gotten, like, I'm just gonna go ahead and close that. But I said that I'd gotten, like, the story plan done for the book. I wasn't entirely done with it. I was mostly done with it. Like, I had, like, a little bit left that I had to do and, like, some small corrections that I had to figure out. So I was planning on doing that yesterday and then debuting it when I was done so that it would be, like, out, and then I could announce, like, oh, live streams on Fridays, you can come over and we can talk about stuff live, and that'll be fun and cool. But, oh shoot, I still have to do something else with the settings. I completely forgot. But instead, what ended up happening was that as soon as I woke up, I went out to get breakfast, and my mom was out in the living room, so I was, like, talking to her and stuff, and then she asked me if I wanted to, she asked me if I was busy, and at the moment, I hadn't been. Like, I was just going to eat breakfast, so I figured, like, if there's something important that she wants me to do, I can just do that real fast and then eat my breakfast and do my stuff. But yeah, so I was just like, no, I'm not busy right now. Why, what's up? And what ended up happening was that she wanted to watch a Jerry Lewis movie. And I've never seen a Jerry Lewis movie. So I was like, she asked me if I wanted to, and I was like, oh, sure, I'll watch one. Sure, why not? So that was kind of a mistake. I don't regret it because it was fun, but it was kind of a mistake because what ended up happening was that we watched one Jerry Lewis movie, and it was really funny, and I enjoyed it. But she had a collection of the movies, so she asked if I wanted to watch another one, and I was like, yeah, sure, I have time. I figured, like, I have time, I can hang out and watch another movie. They were fun. So I watched another movie, and then we ended up watching all of the movies. So I spent my entire day watching Jerry Lewis movies instead of doing what I was supposed to do. So I didn't finish the story plan in time, and I couldn't do the debut when I'd planned to. So now that's going to be happening sometime next week. Maybe on like Monday or something, possibly Tuesday, depending on how busy I end up being. But yeah, so it's going to be next week instead. My bad. So, that's what ended up happening. Why did I come back here again? Oh yeah. This, because it's not that. Probably not. People in blogs. Stick with that. But yeah, that's what ended up happening. So, yeah. Yeah, family bonding is always great. Cool, the chat is showing up in the stream. It wasn't last time. Was the chat showing up in the stream last time? I looked back at the stream and I didn't see it. But it's possible that I just, like, kept skipping over bits where it was coming up. I don't think it was showing up, though. I could be wrong. I know that the subscriber thing showed up, but I don't think the chat was showing up while we were, like, playing the game. And I don't know why, but I don't think it did. So, I don't think it did at the end of the stream either, which is also a little bit weird. Because, like, the point of me having gotten these settings set up is that you're supposed to be able to see the chat when, like, it's happening on the screen. It did it first, and then it stopped. Man, something probably glitched out. Ah, okay. That's weird. I wonder why it didn't do that. Maybe I, like, opened it in a weird way so it didn't work. That's possible, I suppose. Well, whatever. Anyway, so... yeah, so we don't really have as much to talk about this time around, because I had planned on doing the debut, but it didn't work out that way. So, now I don't entirely know what else we should be doing. Like, we can talk about writing stuff if you have specific things you want to talk about, or we can do something else. Like, I don't know what to do with this particular live stream now that I've lost my original plan for it. So, it is what it is. What do you want to do? Because we can, like, play a game, or we can do something else, or we can talk about something else. It's up to you. Sorry, I just had breakfast. Which is terrible, because it's like 5 p.m. It's almost 6 p.m., sorry. And I just ate. So I'm, like, drinking juice. Yeah, what do you want to do? Because I don't really know what we should do specifically. Yeah. Because, like, we could do something else. I don't know what. Or... you want to? I don't mind. That sounds fun. What do you want to talk about specifically? Like, do we want to talk about, like, writing as a whole, or do we want to talk about stuff I've worked on, or anything? What do you want to talk about? I have nothing to work off of, you see. So, I don't know what we should do. So, this is really for, like, your entertainment more than mine. So, not that it's not entertaining for me, but more that it's like, the point of this is to be able to, like, share things with people, and to hang out with other people. I'm pretty easy, so I don't really care what happens. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up getting distracted, and then I'm gonna, like, stare at the cat for ages. Oh, you can see him. Whiskers! Hey. I can't reach him from here, which is sad, but he's just chilling out behind me. Hey. Pet peeves? I don't know. Like, okay, so I don't know if it's really a pet peeve. Probably. So one thing that happened, like this has a story attached to it and why I dislike it. I didn't even know that I disliked it that much. But apparently I really don't like it when people like talk all the time. And like that sounds rude and I don't mean it to be rude, but what I mean is that it's like, so a while ago I went out, like I have dated people like two times and officially, two times officially. And the first time was terrible. I actually dated that person technically twice, but the first time was only for a day and the second time was for a week. I think I explained this story at some point. But yeah, the base of this story is that during the second time when we hung out a lot, she talked so much. And I don't mean that in like a really mean sort of way. I mean that in that like she just was constantly like high energy talking about stuff and she wanted me to talk back, and that was really the thing that bothered me, was that like I had to have a conversation with her and she was going to get pissed off if I didn't, and I hated that. That got on my nerves like so much. I got so upset. It was absolute torture. I don't like having to talk. Like I like being able to have the option of talking when I feel like talking and have like a conversation partner, and I'm totally fine with someone talking to me like for a while and just listening. That's fine. I wouldn't have minded that, but she wanted me to talk back. Like she was having this conversation and she needed me to offer my input, and I didn't have much else to offer. Like I was just listening to her talk about stuff and I didn't really have anything specific to say, but she needed me to say something. So I was just like getting really pissed off as soon as she would start talking, because it was now becoming like a conditioned reaction that every time she tried to talk to me, I had to say something back, so I had to think of something to say. And it was really annoying. So it's like I'm really bad with conversations. I can have polite conversation, but I hate having polite conversation. I don't like having to talk to people. It really bothers me. Yeah. So it's like I really don't like having to talk. I don't mind talking sometimes. Like during things like this stream, I prefer having more control when I have conversations, because I tend to talk like really fast and like off the cuff, and things tend to get really crazy and my head kind of spins in circles because I like the speed of which I think and the speed of which I speak is really different. So not to say that one's faster than the other, but sometimes it like changes. Sorry. I just had a cheeseburger. It was making me burp. But sometimes I like speak too fast and then I won't have my thoughts in order, so I'll just be like, what? Wait, no, wait, that, and I'll like say something wrong and I'll be like, wait, that's not what I meant. And I have to like think about what I'm trying to like say again. And other times I'll like think too fast. So everything will like come into my head and I'll have all these ideas really, really like quickly. But I can't speak fast enough to get it all out at once. So instead, what ends up happening is that like I'll say bits and pieces, but I won't say everything. So it'll just end up sounding really disjointed and weird. And I'll be like, this thing and this thing and then that thing too. And then everyone's like, what? What are you trying to say? And I'm like, wait, what did I not say? So I have to figure out what I'm missing. So I don't like having to talk, because it always gets me really flustered. And I get really like, my brain immediately tries to go like, speak something, talk. And like, I try to think of things. And then once it catches up, I can't talk fast enough because my tongue isn't moving fast enough. So it's like, everything's just all up in the air and weird. I don't like that. That's one of my pet peeves, I guess. It's just like, I don't like having to speak. I just don't like being initiated to speak. Like, I don't like when someone tells me to talk. I don't mind talking on my own, like, when I decide to talk, like for the streams, or when I want to have a conversation with someone, or if I decide to join a conversation with someone, which is what happens a lot with my family, and I appreciate that, because they don't make me speak. They'll like ask me questions, but if I give like a short answer, then they know I just don't have anything else to say. So they'll just be like, oh, okay, that's fine. And they'll accept that, which I appreciate. And other times when they're having conversations and I just kind of suddenly start talking within the conversation, and I'll just be like, oh, this thing. And they'll be like, they'll just look over to me, acknowledge what I said, and then leave me alone. Because like they'll assume that I have nothing else to say, or that if I do have something else to say, then I'll just say it. So yeah, they're like used to me being quiet most of the time and then only speaking when I really want to talk, which is good. Although it sometimes it brings up like it seems a lot like they ignore me, because a lot of the times they will do that where they like hear what I say for 1 second and then they'll just ignore me afterwards, or they won't even notice that I'm talking because I'm just like in the corner of the room and I'll say something and then they won't acknowledge it, and I'll just be like, oh well, whatever. Usually what ends up happening in that situation is that only one person will hear me and they'll just be like, oh, okay, cool, and like I'll appreciate at least the small acknowledgement. But sometimes things get a little confusing. There's never really a good middle ground. Sometimes it works out that way, but not always. I feel like this is at most the good middle ground, and even then it's a bit weird because I'm left to talk by myself, and as like I have been just now, I tend to still talk really fast and get really jumbled up. So I get really like confused. It's really fast and it gets all weird. And I keep repeating myself because I'm trying to like reassure myself that I did say what I was supposed to say. So things get weird whenever I try to have conversations. So yeah, that was a long explanation, but yeah, that's like pet peeves. I can't really think of much else. I don't like when people use, actually, you have something similar? Oh, that makes sense. That's cool. At least I'm not the only one. But yeah, sorry, another pet peeve thing. Not to interrupt you, you can talk about it more if you want to. But another pet peeve thing is that, like, I don't like when people use my stuff in the bathroom. Like, shower stuff. And, like, toothpaste and things. I don't like when people use my stuff in the bathroom. Like, I don't like when they use my soaps. Because sometimes people will go and use the bathroom. Because the way that it always has been, really, is that, my parents live in the master bedroom on the other side of the house. And they always have. Back in our old house when I was a teenager, and still now, they live in the other side of the house in their master bedroom, where there's, the master bathroom is, like, attached. And it's the bigger bathroom, and it's the nicer bathroom, and they're the only ones that use that unless it's, like, for emergencies. So, that's their bathroom. And people don't really use that one unless the other one is occupied. So, I live on the other side of the house, over here, in the corner, by the trash cans. That was not the case last time, but right now I live by the trash cans in the garage. And right next to me is the actual, like, guest bathroom and, like, the public bathroom that everyone uses. And right next to that is another bedroom. Like, that's the guest bedroom, but also the exercise room and also the video game room, because it has, like, the PS4 and the PS3 and also the Xbox and the Xbox 360 and, like, all that stuff. So all that stuff is in there. And in between the two bedrooms is the bathroom. And the bathroom is, like, attached by a sliding door to the other bedroom, but not this one. And I chose that specifically because I didn't want to have to deal with the sliding door. Like, I didn't want people to be using the bathroom and be, like, attached to a door with my room. Even though it would have been convenient so I could just, like, sneak into the bathroom. I live, like, down a hallway where it's really secluded, so I can just walk down the hall. I really don't care. So, yeah. So I live right next to the bathroom. And this is my bathroom. Like, all of my stuff is in there. All of my toiletries, all of my soaps and things, all of my stuff is in there. And I'm in charge of this bathroom. I clean this bathroom, I keep it all organized and everything. And it's my bathroom. And people use it all the time. And that's fine, but sometimes people go in there to, like, take showers and things, and sometimes people stay here for days and they have to, like, really use the bathroom. And I hate it when people have to use my bathroom because, like, for one, no one is ever kind to my bathroom, except for, like, my sisters. My sisters are fine with using my bathroom. They're very, like, polite, usually. They try to keep things clean because they know from experience that it's supposed to be clean. This is the guest bathroom. It's my bathroom, so they try to keep it clean, and I appreciate that. But one time, this was the worst. This has happened multiple times, but the one time that I really remember that was the worst time was that my, like, cousin or something, I don't know what exactly she is, but she's some kind of relative on my mom's side, and I hate my relatives on my mom's side. I don't like the relatives on my dad's side that much either, but I really dislike the ones on my mom's side because they suck. And that's rude to say, but it's true. So, yeah, so I don't like my relatives on my mom's side that much, and, like, one of them is okay, but even then it's kind of sketchy still. But yeah, so they were staying here. It was, like, her and her husband, and they were staying in the other bedroom, and that was fine. Except, when they went to go use the bathroom, one day I went in there to go and use the bathroom myself early in the morning, and the entire toilet, like the toilet seat, the underside of the toilet, the floor around the toilet, the bowl of the toilet, everything on the toilet was covered in pee. and the mat in front of the toilet was covered in pee, and it was just all disgusting. It smelled like a public restroom, and I was so grossed out. I had to leave the room, and then I had to go back, and I had to clean it, because no one else was going to. I left it for a while, and I know that they used the bathroom. I heard them go to the bathroom after that. No one cleaned it, because I went back in there afterwards, and it was still disgusting. And actually, someone tried to kind of clean it, but what they ended up doing was that they took the hand towel that you're supposed to use to dry your hands, and they used it to pick up the pee, and then they tossed it into, like, the bathtub. And I was just like, what kind of person does this? Who does this in somebody else's house? Who does that? I was so, like, upset and offended. I was so close to just, like, shouting at them. But instead I told my dad, and he was just like, that's not cool. So we had a conversation with them about it. They pretended like nothing was their fault. Like, they did nothing. Like, he talked to both of them, and they were like, oh, that's super weird. I don't know what that was about. And, like, they said that they didn't do anything. So that wasn't really resolving the situation, I told my dad, but he was just like, they probably know, and they probably just were embarrassed, so they're not going to say anything, but they're probably not going to do it again, so don't worry about it. And I was just like, that's not cool, but fine, whatever, I guess. So I cleaned up the bathroom after that, because they weren't going to. I left it for a while again, but I had to go to the bathroom, and I was not going to use it when it was disgusting, so I was just like, fine, I'll clean it. And I'll be the one who has to deal with the gross, like, pee-soaked rags and rugs, and, like, the entire place being covered in a person's urine. So I was just like, fine, I'll clean it. And I got really upset about that. And from now on, like, they are the people who pee on the toilet. Like, that's just it. I don't care which one of them it was. I don't care why that ended up happening. I don't care about their personalities. I don't care about anything else. To me, they are the people who pee on the toilet, and that's disgusting, and that's horrible. They're the people who just get everything gross. I don't trust them now, so that's how that works. But yeah, like, I don't like when people use my bathroom, because stuff like that happens. And also, I just don't like it, because sometimes people will go into the bathroom, and they'll use my soaps, or, like, my toothpaste. And I know that they used it, because I know where I put my stuff, and I know how I set it, and I actually, like, I keep track of how much soap I have left and stuff, and how much toothpaste I have left, and I know that they're using mine because I can see the differences. So I go in there, and, like, my body wash has been used, my soap, like, my shampoo and conditioner's been used, and, like, I think at one point someone used my loofah, which was disgusting, and I was just like, why would you do this? This is something you use to wash your body. I don't want to have to use this thing that you used on your naked body on mine. So I was just like, that's gross. I'm going to throw this away, and then I'm going to just wash off my soap bottles so that I don't get your germs on it, and then I can use them. And they do that with my toothpaste and stuff too sometimes. So what ends up happening there is that I don't brush my teeth until they leave, and then I wash off, like, the stuff they used. Because also, like, because it's my stuff, I just, like, from my mouthwash and everything, I kind of just, like, take sips straight from the bottle, because I don't really see a need to use a cup if I can just take it from the bottle. So, like, my mouth is on the rim of that, and people end up using it. And I don't know if they do the same thing I do. And also, sometimes when they don't do that, and I can tell, is because they, like, fill the lid with mouthwash. So now mouthwash is just dripping down the side of the bottle, so everything's covered in mouthwash now, and that's pretty gross too. So I have to clean everything off, and then I have to throw away my toothbrush, because I don't know if they use that or not, because I don't trust them. So I have a lot of trust issues when it comes to a lot of stuff. I don't like when people have my things. Like, I don't like when people borrow my stuff either, because I worry that they're going to do something with it. Like, last time I let someone borrow something, it was my sister Brenda, and I let her borrow, like, a plushie for an anime character, because it was for an anime convention. She needed, like, decorations, because she was part of the, like, thing, and she needed some stuff to put up. So I let her borrow 2 posters, a plushie, 2 plushies, actually. One was of an actual character, and one was of, like, an animal from another one. So it was 2 plushies, I think a figurine, and, yeah, I gave her 2 plushies, a figurine, and, the 2 posters, as well as a box, like, set thing,